Hello friends, this is Arvind. In this video, I am going to explain about population explosion causes for rapid growth of population. Generally in India, there are number of economic problems as like high population, poverty, unemployment. So like that there are the problems in India. So as per our intermediate second year syllabus, we used to study economic growth and economic development, human resource and population, and poverty, unemployment, national income, and planning commission, agriculture sector, industrial sector, service sector, and foreign sector, and the new industrial policy 1991 LPG, and the Telangana economy, which are futures and what are the distribution of contribution of Telangana economy with respect to different sector. So far, coming to today's topic in the second chapter, population and human resource, that the third important topic, which is that population explosion and causes for rapid growth of population. So before going to the topic, so first the main introduction, the population theory, the population demographic transition, which are all those things in his book, the famous economist T.R. Malthus. He explained in his book the essential principles of population. He explained about population explosion. So what do you mean by population? Population explosion. Population explosion means there is a higher than the food supply. For example, population is increases geometric level. Geometric progression, the population is increases, and arithmetic level, the food supply will be increases. Means geometric level 10, 20, 30, 40. Like that, the population will be increases, and the arithmetic level, the food supply will increases 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Right? So the food supply is very less compared with the population. So that is what leads to the scarcity of food problem. So which is called population explosion. Right? So the population increases geometric progression and the food supply increases arithmetic progression. Means the population is higher than food supply. So there will be scarcity. The people will be faces many food problems. Means food scarcity will be higher. So that is what population explosion. And coming to the causes for rapid growth of population. So why the rapid growth of population in India? So there are a number of causes here. Just look at here. Causes for decline in the death rate and causes of high birth rate. Right. So what are the first? Just look at here. The causes of decline in death rate. There are the three major causes. First one is elimination of famines, control of epidemics, other factors. So these are the three factors, three causes which will be decline the birth rate. Right. So when the birth rate is decreases, the population is increases very fast. That is what population explosion. Right. So what are the causes? Here, see, elimination of famines. If you look at Indian history, before pre-independence of India, we are under Britishers. So there was a number of food problems. Okay, we are oppressed by the number of British, whatever the leaders, British, or when the Britishers are ruling our Indian economy, our Indian politician, Indian state. So there was a many problems. There is a many food problems. Right. So the famine, elimination of famine, we are unable to access food at all. Food not at all at that time. There was a food scarcity. There is a food problem in that time. So later there was a change. There was a change in our economy. After first 5 years plan, we are given most importance in agriculture sector. So we are trying to sustain our food and access and all. Okay, therefore the food problem is trying to decrease in that after post independence. Post independence, we try to produce our own whatever the green by implementing the green revolution and all. We try to produce our own food. Okay, our own food grains we try to produce. So there was a famine, it tried to somewhat decreases. So there was elimination of famines. There is no problem at all. So there was a change. So that was what, there was a no death rate in that time. So the death rate will be completely declined. Elimination of famines, which leads to be declining the death rate. Right. And coming to the control of epidemics in India, before 1920, in that time there was many health issues, many health diseases, many contagious diseases like cholera, chickenpox, like tuberculosis. So these are the major epidemics which we are facing in our past history. So that time there is no vaccination for that particular diseases. So coming to the change in the society, people are being educated, people are coming to somewhat education, enhancing their health qualities and all. So there was epidemics, vaccination came to existence. There was a invention of the epidemics, whatever the epidemics which our population were facing that time. So there was a vaccination came to existence. So there was epidemics, try to control the epidemics. Whatever the tuberculosis, whatever the cholera, whatever the malaria, whatever the tuberculosis, these are all diseases which are try to decrease us. Okay, try to control the epidemics. When the epidemics are controlled, generally the death rate will be decreases. Right. So that is one of the most important cause in the decline in the death rate. And coming to the other factors. So there was a higher lack of education in that time. There was no immunization. At the same time, there is a poverty, and there is a number of problems were there. So all those things they are trying to decrease. The standard of living somewhat is improved. So people are trying to. There is no food scarcity. There is a immunization. There is a water, pure drinking water. All those things came to existence. People are somewhat educated, so that the death rate is continuously decreases. So which are all will help to decrease the death rate. Right. So this is one of the most important factor to decline the death rate. And coming to the causes of high birth rate. Why a high birth rate in India? Why high birth rate? The growth of rapid population here. Growth of rapid population means population is growth very high, means birth rate is based on birth rate. Right. So birth rate is very high. What are the factors behind that? So there was two major factors, economic factors and social factors. So what are the economic factors? Economic factors are predominance of agriculture. Predominance of agriculture, urbanization and poverty. These are the three major economic factors which will be enhance the birth rate, which will rise up the birth rate. So what is that? Predominance of agriculture means generally in Indian economy, maximum population are depend on agriculture sector. Right? We are most important. We are the higher population. At the same time, we are dependent on most of the population on agriculture sector. Right? So the people are thinking that they are used to more population. Means if they give more children, that will be help to produce whatever the productivity, whatever the production, whatever the cultivation while doing the cultivation in the agriculture farming. So there was a need many laborers, right? So there is if the increasing the birth rate, increasing the population, increasing their children, so there will be a help their agriculture. So that kind of attitude in our economic system, in our agriculture system, predominance of agriculture. Dominance in agriculture, most of the people they are not inviting the advanced technology actually. We are used to traditional way of cultivation whatever the machineries which are not even trying to impose in our agriculture sector. So we used to whatever the labor, maximum labor intensive production in agriculture we are used to doing that. So that is the reason why there was a birth rate means absolutely the people are preferred to more labor. The more labor leads to the high children means high birth rate. They try to give birth many people. So that will be leads to be that will be help to the agriculture sector. Whatever the labor production of agriculture, food crops and all. So there will be laborer will help in the agriculture sector, right? So the people are give more birth because they will, if they try to give the labor work at the same time, the food supply will be no problem. Means the maximum they try to participate in agriculture company, the subsistence level they used to get. So that is what they will sustain, and they will, that's why the birth rate will be increases usually, right? So and coming to the urbanization. Urbanization means most of the cities, urbanization means there was a industrial sector and service sector. Most of the preference industrial sector and service sector, right? So in that regard, the people are trying to increase their income level. Generally their per capita level is very high. The per capita is very high, so they will already they are in social stigma. There is a no, there is a whatever the higher population is there, there will be higher labor, so that will be helps to generate higher income. So that is the reason why urbanization also leads the high birth rate, right? And coming to the poverty. Poverty is one of the most important cause in high birth rate. See, Indian people mentality is that the people have the higher number of children if they give birth, they give children, so that will be leads to the higher level of income. Means the people think that if there is a family, the family gives more and more children, the children will become after they will, whatever the working is, they will work more and more, so they will get more income, so the income will be generated. So that is way of thinking the people which are Indian mentality, Indian people are being having. So generally population is very high, so the resources are somewhat very less. Okay, so in that regard, the people used to think that they are not well educated, right? They don't have income at all. So the people are there. If the income will increases, the birth rate if the birth rate is increases, the more children if we have, so that we can more income we can generate. That kind of attitude, so that the people generally that's not possible. If the more children they give birth, they give children and also that will be leads the absolutely the cost, whatever their rearing, whatever their food, whatever their education, it will be automatically there will be many economic problems which will be occurred. So generally people prefer to give more children, so that will be used to high birth rate. Poverty is one of the most important cause in that economic perspective, right? And coming to the social factors. Social factors, there are the lack of education, religious and social superstitions, and joint family, and use of contraceptives, and universality of marriage, and lower age at the time of marriage, right? So these are the social factors which will be impact our birth rate, high birth rate, right? See, just look at one by one here. Lack of education. Due to lack of education in India, our education system according to 2011 census, in India 74% of literacy rate which we have. In this, women literacy rates around 65, and men it is around 80. So if you look at here, the women education literacy rate, it is very less. Why? Because the people are thinking that the men are more working in the contribution of income, and the men will be treated as a somewhat, what we can say, men will be treated as a what we can asset, and women will be girl child will be treated as a whatever that label is like that. So which will be many problems in this economic problem. Lack of education, people are not giving more importance on education. So there was no education at all. The low education qualities will leads to be lack of awareness about the population, increasing the population, right? If they don't have awareness about the whatever the medical facilities, whatever the contraceptives, whatever the things which are, they are unable to access all those things because they don't awareness actually, right? So lack of education also one of the most important factor which will be leads to the increasing the high birth rate. And coming to the religious and social superstitions, we used to believe our social stigma. We are following the social stigma, like the boy child should be there in our family. Okay, the girl child, it is not at all enough. Boy child should be there. Like that, there is a many social stigma which we are in that society, in our society, Indian society. The caste, there is a caste and religious superstitions, blind beliefs which are there. So like higher in population means higher family size, which will be higher income. So that kind of social and superstitious religious people, religious mentality, which will be leads to the higher population, right? The more the religious, as like for example Hindu, Muslim, whatever, they think that the high population we will be have somewhat better strength in our future. So like that, they used to think in that way. So that is the reason why it will be increase the high birth rate, right? So and joint family system in India, there was a system before 1950s and 1960s and all. Joint family system, the couple, whoever having couple that family, they try to encourage them. Okay, the couples are going to give birth, and whatever the elders, they are going to take care of them. Okay, there was no burden on them. Okay, so as like in agriculture sector, there was the people, they never think the children are burden on their family, because if the family size increases, they will work more and more in their cultivation, production of agriculture, crops and all. As like that, in the joint family system also, the people give, the couples give to born the children, at the same time whatever the elders, whoever there in the elders, they try to take care of them. Okay, so there was no problem. So that is the reason why joint family, which will be support, which will encourage the birth rate. Okay, and next, use of contraceptives. Use of contraceptive means in this planning, for family planning system. Family planning means they are trying to control the population. There was a 1970s, there was a family planning scheme which was introduced in India, right? So why? Because the population, if increases, there was a food scarcity, there was a number of lack of natural resources, there was a number of economic problems will be rise up. There is a number of unemployment issues. If the population increases, the unemployment also increases. Unemployment increases, generally the poverty will be increases, right? If the higher population, there is no job opportunities, right? People don't get any job. If they don't get any job, they are unable to they are unable to demand at all anything. They don't unable to demand for particular goods and services. Basic necessities at all they are unable to access. The basic necessity they cannot unable to access, that leads to be directly poverty. They are trapped in poverty. That poverty will be leads to, again there will be many economic problems. Their children, their family. So there will be again there is many vicious cycle of poverty. So far, the use of contraceptives, which has to be maintained, the contraceptive, whatever while people are men and women, they has to take care of whatever these contraceptives to decrease the birth rate and all. Right? Family planning system, it is the most important scheme, and at the same time contraceptive, whatever women and men, they used to be take care of them. So that is what one of the major important factor or cause in this social factor. And coming to universality of marriage, people used to think each and every individual should marry. If the girl, she has to, if she get around 18 years, she has to marry, and boys, he get married with 20, 21, 22 years, he should be married. So they think that that's a responsibility. They should marry. So that is why after marriage, they are forcefully, they are try to give children. So that is the reason why birth rate absolutely will be increases, right? And lower age at the time of marriage means early marriages in our India ancient history. If you look at the ancient history, Sati Sagam, there was a number of problems. It means very less age the people are encouraging to the marriage, the children's girl child and all. So that will be leads to be, there was a birth rate increases, high birth rate. right? So these are the factors which leads to the rapid growth of population. What are the factors? There was a causes of declining the death rate, means absolutely decreasing the population. Population is decreasing in very steady level, but whatever the birth rate is increasing very fast. Right? Why? Because there are a number of economic problems and social factors. There is predominance of agriculture, urbanization, poverty, and social factors, lack of education, religious superstitions, at the same time, joint family, use of contraceptives, at the same time, universal of marriage, lower age of the time of marriage. So these are the social and economic factors which will be enhance the birth rate. At the same time, there was a steady decreasing in the whatever the causes of steady decreasing in the death rate, causes like elimination of famines, completely elimination of famine. There is no food scarcity, there is no food problem. Importers giving the PDS system. Through the PDS system, we are giving the food supply. Okay, rice, wheat, whatever those things. The basic, they are able to. The food problem is not there. So there was no death rate. There is not at all any problem in the food scarcity. And whatever the control of epidemics, number of vaccines came to existence. Technologies increased. Many health facilities, okay, many vaccines came to existence. People are aware of those things. So there was no death rate. There is any disease that they try to one of the whatever the issues, whatever the vaccines which are already there in this market and health sector, well infrastructure. So that is the reason why they try to decrease population. The death rate will be decreases. And other kind of immunization, pure drinking water, sanitation, health, education, all those things came to better enough. So that is the reason why the death rate is completely somewhat decreasing. Right. So this is what T.R. Malthus in his book The Essay and Principles of Population in 1798, he explained clearly about population explosion and causes for rapid growth of population. Population explosion means the food supply will be increases, arithmetic progression, and population size will be increases, geometry. Right, population will be increases 10 crore, 20 crore, 30 crore, 40 crore, like that. And food supply will be increases 1 quintal, 2 quintal, like that. 1 million quintal, 2 million quintal, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So arithmetic level it is food supply. Geometric level is population. Means it is like this. Somewhat very vast difference in this. So which will be impact many hazardous problems, many economic problems. Right, many food problems, many whatever the unemployment problems, unemployment leads to be poverty, poverty will be many economic problems, they are unable to access nothing, any basic necessities. So this will be leads to be many economic problems, so that the population has to be decreases due to maintaining the better families, the better family planning, at the same time using the contraceptives. So that is we will be discuss how to remove that population, higher population in this next unit. Next topic we will try to take what are the measures can be taken to decreasing the population. So this is what are the causes of rapid growth of population. So next class we will learn about what are the remedial measures we can take to control the population. Right. So I hope you all are clear this topic. If you like this video, please subscribe and share. Thank you.